You've probably heard by now about WebAssembly, a binary application format that allows near-machine native performance for applications running on the web. Every major browser supports it, and many languages like Rust and C can compile to it. But you can also run WebAssembly outside the browser by way of a runtime system called Wasmer. Wasmer is to WebAssembly as Node.js is to JavaScript. It's a way to take applications designed for inside the browser and run them on your system at large. So why use Wasmer to do this? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. WebAssembly apps come in convenient packages. They run sandboxed by default, so they're easier to use safely. And runtimes for other languages like Python are available as WebAssembly packages for Wasmer, so you can make use of many other languages' ecosystems. So let's see an example of Wasmer in action. I have on this Windows 11 system a copy of the most recent Wasmer runtime, the alpha of version 6.0. The most convenient way to do something with it is from the command line and to supply the name of a Wasmer package that can be looked up and downloaded from the wasmer.io package directory. The Wasmer docs have, as an example, the cowsay program. This is a fun command line tool commonly found in Linux. So when we type Wasmer run cowsay and then provide a quoted text for it, the first thing Wasmer does is check its local cache for a copy of the package. And if it doesn't find it, then it will download it from the wasmer.io package directory. You'll notice that when we run cowsay a second time, it runs a little bit faster because now we're using a locally cached copy. Now, if I don't want to depend on the package directory, I can download and use Wasmer packages locally. So here, I have downloaded a copy of the cowsay package, and I can run it using Wasmer run and the name of the package file, and then pass along the rest of the arguments. Now, let's say we want to do something more complex. I want to use the Wasmer edition of Python to run a script. So I've downloaded a local copy of the Wasmer edition of Python. It's a single 117 megabyte binary blob, and that includes the standard library. Now, if I launch the Python interpreter with Wasmer run, I get the familiar Python REPL prompt. I can run commands there. Everything seems to be all right. But if I exit and I try to rerun this with the name of a script on the command line, I get a file not found error. What? Well, this is actually Wasmer's sandboxing in action. See, by default, the only I/O that Wasmer apps have access to is standard in and standard out. No Wasmer program by default has access to the file system unless I specifically grant it. So to do that, I have to provide a directory mapping, and I use the mapdir switch to do this. So here I'm mapping the directory L, because it's short, to the pydemo directory. And when I do that and then supply l/main.py as my file name, the file runs. There are also similar restrictions for networking. I've got another Python app in here, a very simple web app that I want to run in Wasmer. But if I try to do this, I get this very surprising prompt. Now, I'd rather opt into network access on a per run basis. So I'm going to say no to this. I'm going to let the program die, and I'm going to rerun it as prompted with the net flag to enable network access. If I do that, everything launches and runs as expected. You can see from this how Wasmer and WebAssembly in general is being touted as a substitute for container technology, because it does many of the same things, like sandboxing your app, making it portable, supporting lots of runtimes and native languages. But there are downsides to Wasmer. For one, even if a given runtime or language is supported, not all features available to the native platform version of that language or runtime may be available. Take Python, for instance. Many parts of the standard library, like the threading module, aren't available in the WebAssembly build of the runtime. So to sum up, Wasmer gives you a convenient way to run WebAssembly package programs from the command line, and it gives you an online package directory that's expanding daily. It gives you the kind of portability and sandboxing you'd expect from containers, but it does come with limitations of its own, and let's show you how Wasmer and WebAssembly are all still moving fast and breaking things. So that's it for this episode. If you liked it, leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow Dev with Serdar and InfoWorld on Facebook, YouTube, and InfoWorld.com.